How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Ty_Drums here, and today we're going to be talking about Week 17, the Super Tank Bowl, the Raiders versus the Giants in Week 17, and we managed to pull off the loss. Surprising to say that, but we lost 34-10, I believe, in a game that we absolutely had to lose to get that number one pick in the draft. It's not guaranteed, of course. We still have to lose to the Chiefs, but I think, I've been saying it since last month, maybe even before then, that we're going to be going 2-15 this season, and this was an important game to lose. And in this case, Geno had 2 picks, 1 touchdown, at least to Lockett, which was pretty decent. Genty had an all right game too, I will say. Mayer was, he's all right, but we benched Bowers, or put him on IR. We didn't bench him. We put him on IR along with Max Crosby because we did not want them to mess up our tank. And honestly, though, I think even if they were in the game, we still would have lost this one. The Giants beat us in decisive fashion. Jackson Dart with 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. Just overall, that kick return for a touchdown as well. 96 yards, 95 yards. Absolutely crazy. But, all of that pretty much just sealed the deal for this game. And, I'm just pretty content with how it was. I don't have any complaints. I think that, it was kind of like we put Kenny Pickett in as well because Geno Smith got injured. And, I'm not sure what his future is going to be, if he's going to start next week versus the Chiefs or if we're going to put in Pickett. Pickett looked all right out there. He wasn't looking too bad. Didn't score us any points, but still had some decent production. A lot of our guys out there had some good production too. It was nothing, insane, but it was still there were still some good moments out there. I think Genty, though, had a bit of a better than average game for the rushing as well as the receiving. Well, maybe not as much receiving, but the rushing was a bit better. I think it was the first game. This was the first game I've actually watched in so long. Because I watched it in a friend's stream from start to the finish with a few breaks here and there. I think I went, grabbed some stuff at halftime from the store, came back. But overall, this was the first game I've actually watched in so long. And it was surprisingly, for wanting a loss this week, not too bad. So I don't really have much else to say, surprisingly. I'm just hoping we secure that number one pick. Last game of the season is next week versus the Chiefs, and we'll see what happens then. Hopefully we secure that number one spot. Maybe we'll get a quarterback, maybe an offensive lineman, who knows, but Super Tank Bowl, we got this one. We're going for the full tank. So we'll see. There's going to be a lot of implications, though, I think, for this team, especially with how we handled, putting our star players on IR. And, Max Crosby, very vocal against going for the tank, instead going for the win. I feel like that might have some sort of negative implications in the future. We'll see what happens with that. But for now, just got to focus on, next week, getting that number one pick, and then seeing what happens in the offseason with whatever changes we decide to do. So, but with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Ty_Drums signing off, and have a good one. Cheers. Until next time. Have a good one, y'all.